Today, we're diving into one of the most unexpected and, frankly, most profound intersections of our time, where cutting-edge artificial intelligence meets the very human search for justice. This isn't just about algorithms and data. It's a story about how we're using technology to piece together history, to honor memory, and to find a way to heal after the unimaginable.
So, just think about this for a second. A conflict ends, the violence stops. But what's left? You have just an ocean of scattered stories, fading memories, and mountains of evidence. So, how on earth do you even begin to find the truth, let alone justice, in all that chaos?
I love this image because it perfectly captures the new idea here. Think of it like weaving a tapestry. On one hand, you have these deeply personal, irreplaceable threads of human testimony. And on the other, you have the cold, hard logic of digital circuits. What we're talking about today is how we're starting to weave those two things together, to create a whole new fabric of truth.
Okay, but before we get too deep into the tech, we have to get our heads around the world it's trying to help. So first things first, what exactly is transitional justice?
At its heart, transitional justice, or TJ for short, is basically the toolkit a society uses to confront its own dark past. It's not just about courts and punishments. It's much bigger. It's about officially acknowledging what happened, helping victims put their lives back together, and, crucially, making sure it can never, ever happen again. The whole focus is, and has to be, on the victims. And TJ is often broken down into these 5 core pillars. You've got truth-seeking, which is all about getting the facts straight and creating an official record. Then there's accountability, holding people responsible. Reparations are about trying to repair the harm done. Non-recurrence is about changing the system so it's resilient. And finally, memorialization, which is how a society remembers, to make sure we never forget. Each one is a vital piece of the puzzle.
All right, now for the tech. When we talk about technology in this space, we have to be really specific, because not all digital tools are created equal, and the difference here really, really matters.
So let's break this down. On one side, you have data-driven technologies, or DDTs. Think of these as following a strict recipe. They do exactly what you tell them to do with huge amounts of data. Databases, mapping software, that kind of thing. But AI is different. AI can learn the recipe itself. It sifts through data, finds the patterns on its own, and can actually adapt its approach as it goes. It learns.
And one of the most powerful types of AI for this work is natural language processing, or NLP. This is the magic that lets a machine make sense of human language, text, speech, you name it. For justice, the implications are just massive. It means you can have an AI listen to thousands of survivor testimonies at once and pull out common themes, pinpoint key events, and help build a single coherent timeline from a sea of different voices.
So let's see what this actually looks like in practice. We're going to zoom in on a powerful case study, one that involves one of the most important historical archives in the entire world, the USC Shoah Foundation's collection of Holocaust survivor testimonies.
This quote, it just gets right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? The Foundation has done this monumental job of preserving tens of thousands of stories, but just storing them isn't enough. I mean, how do you truly listen to all of them? How do you stop these vital human stories from just disappearing into the silence of a digital archive?
And the answer they're working on is a pretty incredible method called distant listening. The name says it all. Instead of one person listening to one testimony at a time, this uses AI to listen to thousands or even all of them at once. It can do in hours what would take a team of humans literally lifetimes to accomplish. And here's what makes this approach so special. First, the AI is designed to respect what they call narrative integrity. It doesn't just scan for keywords. It treats each testimony as a whole story. Second, it works at a mind-boggling scale. And third, because of that, it can find these huge collective patterns, shared experiences, common journeys, hidden connections that you would never see otherwise. It lets us hear the entire chorus without ever losing the individual voice. But, and this is a really big but, as amazing as all this sounds, it is not a magic bullet. We have to talk about the huge ethical questions and the very real risks that come along for the ride. And these are some of the big ones. You've got the risk of algorithmic bias, where an AI could accidentally amplify the very prejudices it's supposed to be fighting. There's the danger of this incredibly sensitive data being misused. And maybe the most important risk of all, that these tools get designed in a lab somewhere without the input of the survivor communities and end up failing the very people they're supposed to help.
So all of this brings us to a final, really crucial point. It's so easy to frame this as a simple good versus bad debate, but that completely misses the point. The real question we should be asking is much, much deeper. As these powerful new tools start to reshape how we collect, analyze, and even remember the past, we have to ask ourselves, who's in control here? Who gets to decide how this technology is used? Whose stories get amplified, and whose get left behind? The future of justice in our digital age might not depend on the code itself, but on how we, as a society, choose to answer that very question.